Hey everyone, I've been shooting with the Canon EOS R6 Mark III for a few weeks now, and I have to say, it's one of those cameras that makes you forget about the cheap alternatives you've probably tried before. You know, the ones where you're constantly fighting the autofocus or dealing with blurry shots because the stabilization just isn't up to par. This thing? It's like night and day. If you're serious about photography or even stepping into videography, this camera is worth every penny. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the image quality is next level. The 32.5 MP full-frame sensor paired with Canon's DIGIC X processor gives you crisp, detailed shots even in low light. I was shooting a friend's band practice in a dimly lit venue last week, and the noise was minimal at ISO 6400. That's something you don't see in a lot of mid-range cameras. Plus, the colors Canon is known for? They're spot on straight out of the camera. No need for heavy editing just to make your photos look natural. Now, if you're into action shots, sports, wildlife, or even fast-moving kids, you'll love the 40 frames per second continuous shooting. I tested it at a local soccer game, and the buffer held up perfectly. The 20-frame pre-continuous shooting is a game-saver too. Missed the perfect moment? No worries, just scroll back and grab it. The autofocus system, dual-pixel CMOS AF2, is lightning fast and tracks subjects like a champ. I was shooting my dog running through the yard, and the focus never wavered, even when he zigzagged. Another thing that blew me away was the in-body image stabilization. I'm not the steadiest shooter, so I usually rely on a tripod or gimbal. But with this camera, I was able to handhold shots at 1/15 of a second and still get sharp images. That's huge if you're traveling light or just don't want to lug around extra gear. And speaking of travel, the dual card slots are a lifesaver. One CF Express Type B and one UHS-2 SD card mean you can back up your files on the fly or separate RAW and JPEGs to keep things organized. The ergonomics are solid too. The grip is deep and comfortable, even with a big lens attached. I've shot for hours without my hand cramping up, which is a big deal if you're out all day. The menu system is intuitive, though it might take a little getting used to if you're coming from a different brand. But once you get the hang of it, it's smooth sailing. Now, no camera is perfect, and the R6 Mark III has a couple of things I wish were better. The battery life is decent, but if you're a heavy shooter, you might want to grab an extra battery or two. Also, the CF Express Type B card is fast, but it's not the cheapest option out there. If you're on a budget, factor that into your costs. All in all, the Canon EOS R6 Mark III is a powerhouse for photographers and videographers alike. Whether you're capturing fast action, shooting in low light, or just want a reliable camera that won't hold you back, this is it. The build quality, autofocus, and stabilization alone make it worth the investment. If you're on the fence, just take the leap, you won't regret it. Check out the link below to see the latest price and details. Happy shooting! For most buyers, the real question is not whether Canon EOS R6 Mark III body, full-frame mirrorless camera sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like 32.5 MP full-frame CMOS image sensor and DIGIC X image processor, and up to 40 frames per second photo shooting with 20 frames of pre-continuous actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement were off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Canon EOS R6 Mark III body, full-frame mirrorless camera usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.